Words cannot express how happy I am that it is actually cool enough that I can wear a sweat jacket. Hello everyone, it is Sam and I hope you guys are having a great one. I am here today with a return to author highlights. This was a video series that I started last year where I basically feature one of my favorite authors, some of their works, where to start, etc. And it's actually been highly requested because I haven't done one in a while, so here I am. I'm here to do it once again. Today I'm going to be featuring the author Gerald Morris. So as many of you guys know, I am actually a very big fan of Arthurian legends, which are King Arthur stories. And where I actually gained that love for Arthurian legends was through Gerald Morris's books. I discovered his books in high school. It was my freshman year of high school. I had a class with this girl named Marie, who is still my friend to this day. We had algebra together, and we both loved fantasy. We would talk about the Lord of the Rings all the time, and she actually introduced me to this author in his series, and I'm so glad she did, because this has remained one of my favorite book series ever. Gerald Morris is an American author born in 1963, primarily known for his Squires Tales and Knight's Tale series, which are Arthurian legendary tellings for younger readers, primarily preteen to teenagers, and they're so good. I have actually not read the Knight's Tales series yet, because those were published after I started reading the Squires Tales, but Squires Tales series is fantastic. So basically, Gerald Morris takes Arthurian legends and makes them accessible for younger readers. He pretty much stays pretty true to the original legends and stories that you find in Arthurian literature, but he adds a new twist and makes them something new, adds a few new characters, but still kind of maintaining the heart of the King Arthur legend. Squires Tale series, it consists of the first book, A Squire's Tale. This is what starts our adventure in this world. The first two books primarily follow Gawain, but pretty much it is from the perspective of his squire, Terence. So you do get a lot of the Gawain legends, but you get it through the perspective of his squire. And they're just so much fun. These books are smattered with a ton of humor. They're meant to be humorous and fun and adventurous. There are some actually very kind of sad and touching moments, and they're full of adventure, but it's just a good mix of everything, and they're definitely fun, quick reads that I recommend to anybody, particularly if you are new to the Arthurian legend subgenre, I guess. The first book is Squires Tales. Book 2 is A Squire, His Knight, and His Lady. This book is another one that features primarily Gawain and his squire Terence, but it is Gerald Morris's take on the Sir Gawain and the Green Knight legend. Book 3 is The Savage Damsel and the Dwarf and features one of Le Morte d'Arthur's lesser-known tales, which is the story of Lady Lynette. This story basically consists of this knight beheading all of Lady Lynette's would-be suitors, so she ends up sneaking out to King Arthur's court to seek help for her plight. And this one is another one that's pretty fun and humorous, and one that I thoroughly enjoyed, and features quite a few characters from the Arthurian legend. Book 4 is Parsifal's Page. For those of you who are familiar with Arthurian legends, you might recognize the name of Parsifal because this is a story that has been told many times. This, of course, is just as fun, and it's told from Parsifal's Page's perspective, who is young Piers, who is trying to escape his father's blacksmith shop, rather. And it kind of just shows their adventures together. This is a fun one. This is one that has slightly more touching and kind of heartwarming moments, but it's still just as humorous as the others in the series. Book 5 is A Ballad of Sir Dinadan. This one features our main character of Dinadan, who is forced into the knighthood by his father, but he doesn't want to do it. He wants to be a minstrel, he wants to write his own songs and travel the lands, but he sets out to King Arthur's court, becomes friends with Sir Bedivere and Sir Kay, and together they set out on a quest of misadventures. The next book in the series is The Princess Crone and the Dung Cart Knight. This one features our young protagonist of Sarah, who is an orphan. She sets out on an adventure to basically find the murderer of her parents, but she ends up signing up for more than she bargained for, and ends up having to team up with Gawain, his squire Terence, and together they have to set out to save Sir Kay and Guinevere. And it's full of misadventures. This one is a little bit more on the sad side of things, but still, as per Gerald Morris's usual, is full of a smattering of humor. The next book is The Lioness and Her Knight. This one features the main protagonist of Lunetta, who basically wants to set out on adventures of her own. She lives in a remote part of the kingdom on her family's land, but she's tired of just sitting there being bored, so she sets out with her husband, Gawain. I'm not actually sure to pronounce that. And together they kind of fall into a series of misadventures. This one actually features Morgan Le Fay because she is Lunetta's great aunt, and so of course sorcery and antics ensue. The next book is The Quest of the Fair Unknown, and this one features our main character of Boufils, and I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm really sorry. I suck at pronouncing French words. Anyway, his mother tasks him on her deathbed to set out from the forest, the remote forest that they live in, to go to King Arthur's court to find his father, because his father is a knight. So this basically shows his trek across the land as he makes his way to Camelot. It's full of adventures. He picks up companions who are all charmed by his innocence and wit, and it's definitely a fun story. As if you guys may be able to tell, as the later books in the series, they tend not to be quite so humorous and a little bit more on the touching side of things, but they're still just as good. The second to last book in this series is the Squire's Quest. This one features Terence almost entirely. And this one, Terence is suspicious because things seem a little bit too peaceful in the land, and he hasn't heard from the Fae court in quite a while, so he basically sets out to figure out what is going on, because he has this gut feeling that something sinister is a brew. So this one is definitely very much Terence's adventure in this story, and I love Terence. He's actually one of my favorite characters. This is a great book. And the final book, The Legend of the King, which is one that I actually have not read yet, believe it or not, features Terence and all of the characters from all of the other books coming together to save Camelot from all of the evil forces that have collided. So this one actually seems like going to be a really exciting book and a great culmination to the series, as it is the final one in the series, and I need to get it and read it myself because I have been slacking so bad. The second series that Gerald Morris is known for is geared toward grade school readers, and it is called The Knight's Tales, and it is basically books that feature the main characters of a lot of Arthurian legends and kind of provides these stories for a younger audience. The books consist of The Adventures of Sir Lancelot the Great, The Adventures of Sir Givret the Short, Adventures of Sir Gawain the True, The Adventures of Sir Balin the Ill-Fated, and finally Prophecy, Poetry, and Hosea. I have not read this series. I don't actually read that many children's books, but I am intrigued enough to pick this one up since I do know that I love Gerald Morris's books, so this may have to be one that I'll add to my wish list. So that is basically the summation of Gerald Morris's bibliography. I have to say I really enjoy his books. They are quick reads, they are geared towards younger readers, but they really are a great introduction to Arthurian legends. And they're humorous reads. They're fun. They're full of action. They're great for younger readers if you're looking for books to read to your children. They're just really, really fantastic books and incredibly underrated in my opinion. All right, guys, that is it for my author highlights for Gerald Morris. I hope this gave you a good idea of what kind of works Gerald Morris is known for. Perhaps you've been wanting to pick up some Arthurian legend stories for yourself. I think this will definitely be a good place to start. Even if you are an adult, they're still fun to read. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, happy reading. Bye!